I'm Nate, and this is Watchdogs but Oversimplified. This is the final episode. I actually remembered to correct the aspect ratio and make this video HD, so yay for me. Jordy is needed behind a scope. Maurice is a plant, Maurice is trapped. So I decided to take a stop by the red light district to grab a few items.
No bedbug this time.
So we're going to break into Plot Place without Thick Boy to get the rest of the data that Thick Boy couldn't. Jordy is covering us with a sniper, although not once through this mission does he actually shoot anyone. This was surprisingly creative, having to use an item to get the door to open instead of just hacking a box like usual. Also, Mr. Country knew we were coming.
Okay, Clara, I'm in.
Stereotypical, I'm in line. We're about to leave, but surprise encounter with Mr. Country.
You were the other hacker in the MacLeod.
Mr. Country was the other hacker at the Merlot. What sort of happy horse shit is this? This seriously bothers me that you can't drive this car. Come on, Ubisoft. Ubisoft sure knows how to make a boss fight. Don't actually make it hard, just give the boss a lot of health. What was that? 6 IEDs? That's actually ridiculous. Oh, also we can't forget about the 2 minutes of dialogue that you have to listen to before actually fighting him. And also we have to listen to this again if we were to die during the fight. Wow, I really appreciate that. Most games would make you walk out, but this just warps you out. That's a rare mechanic that actually helps the game that most games don't have.
I don't need you on my shoulder.
But I think you do.
Damien wants to be on Aiden's shoulders. Hang on, what? I have never seen this before in any game. I just accidentally figured out how to do wheelies in this game, and it's with the scroll wheel? The fuck? You have to constantly scroll to hold a wheelie. That is so strange. So now we have the blackmail data for Damien, but it turns out that Mickey Mouse Mask decides to interrupt our plans by stealing it. No reason for Ubisoft to end the game here when they could just throw in an extra villain for no real reason, just for a couple hours of extra content. Oh my god, not again! Why does this guy have a blue Mickey Mouse mask? It's strange.
It wasn't too difficult to find them. 2 men. One's a hacker, the other a fixer, as far as I could tell.
Turns out Clara sold us out. In a situation like this, you would want to get the power off as soon as possible, but Stakey Boy gives us a few second warning before doing it. Not really sure why, and it doesn't make sense, but sure, Ubisoft. Uber pwned us. Also, I haven't heard the word pwned since like 2011.
You didn't bring my data, I didn't bring your sister.
We didn't bring Damien's data, he didn't bring Aiden's sister.
Then kill her.
Bluff Strats 101. Aiden now controls Damien's fate. Poorly made game is scripted to make you have to escape the cops, so even if you use the Jam Com's ability to never get the cops, you won't complete the mission until you get the cops and escape them. Once again, I'm using the train to escape because realism. So we had to escort Mr. Steak to safety after he did a thing, but it wasn't interesting, so I'm not showing it.
Oh, and I found a 6-gig USB stick full of lesbian porn. You want that too?
Keep it.
6 gig, eh? You can tell this game is old, now in the age of HD, 4K, and now even 8K. 6 gigs isn't that much at all. In fact, the video footage for this video alone was over 11 gigs. Now we have to go take out Mickey Mouse Mask in the most infuriating way possible. It's very obvious that this is default, but we have to hack phones before we're allowed to go get him. Although the taunts for us when using the profiler are kinda funny. Here's what the binary means for anyone curious. I am impressed and surprised that Ubisoft actually made the binary mean something instead of just random 1s and 0s expecting nobody would translate it, which of course I did because I'm Nate. The collision here is horrible and the game messes with your camera to make this chase as annoying as physically possible. Follow dude around to download data, then kill him.
That's all you want to know. I've never seen a contract with more zeros on it than yours.
Jordy warns Aiden of a very large price on his head, but Jordy is someone only focused on business, so it makes no sense he wouldn't want to betray Aiden and claim that cash for himself. Mr. Steak found the location of Nikki for us. So I have to say something here. This slow-mo shooting effect Aiden can do is almost a direct rip-off of Michael's special ability from GTA 5, and considering it also works in vehicles, it's also a rip-off of Franklin's special ability. Nikki gets startled, so neck shots the guy, then in perfect movie stereotype fashion, feels bad about it. Escort Nikki out, lose bad guys, mission complete. So now we have to get Nikki out of town so she can be safe from the hitmen. This is actually a good mission, and running from the cops is quite challenging, but considering Nikki is a very shallow part of the story, the emotional part of this mission that Ubisoft is clearly going for doesn't really work. Turns out that Old Man Quinn is the real bad guy and ordered the hit, so now we go to where the game started, the Merlot. Also, the mayor is corrupt. Always check the corners before exiting an elevator. I thought they would have told you that in Vigilante 101.
You know, so many people come to me with the little problems.
Bad guy says typical bad guy line about ordering a hit on a 6-year-old girl being a small thing. Quick time event because quick time event.
You don't even know why we attacked you. It was a mistake. We thought you wanted this.
Turns out the entire reason behind the plot of the game was an accident, because Old Man Quinn thought Aiden was after something that he wasn't. Quinn locks himself in a security room with bulletproof glass, so we hack his pacemaker to kill him. Now, I would normally chalk this up to some video game shit, but that's a thing that happened in the real world, which is very scary to think of. Real world's a fucked up place sometimes, guys. So now we're gonna mix up strategies a bit, and instead of using the train, we're gonna use a boat to escape the cops, because they'll never be able to catch me in the open water.
Auto shutdown initiated. Battery low. Powering off.
So at this point I went out to use the bathroom and kept recording for some reason. I never knew that the shut-off warning on my headphones is actually system sound. I thought it was something hard-coded into the headphones themselves. I find this very interesting, so I'll include it in the video. Clara has a meeting with a lot of bullets. May she rest in pieces. Painfully long, shallow, and somewhat meaningless message left by Clara for us that forces us to walk. The rain is fitting though. Not sure if it's scripted, but rain is usually associated with sadness, so it does make sense.
I hope you don't mind. I'm grabbing some of your stock. Figure that makes us even.
Mr. Steak takes some of Aiden's weapons because he knows there's gonna be fixers looking for him. Aiden releases the blackmail files to the public, and Damien understandably gets upset about it.
After everything we've suffered, you just give it all away?
So now it's time for the most climactic mission in the game, the final one. Damien hacks the road to make our driving harder. We go to a place to shut him down, but it turns out he already installed a firewall there, so we're gonna have to figure out something else. The something else is we have to find 3 spots to hack so we can go back and hack the original place. However, Damien is hacking things to mess with us, the cops are chasing us, and Damien somehow messes with our vision. Not really sure what in-universe explanation they have for hacking our vision, but sure, Ubisoft. So we get to knock out the power to all of Chicago, but first we have to do this fucking hacking minigame again. It's so horrible and overused. However, this was genuinely really enjoyable and badass. They really hyped up the blackouts all throughout this game, and they did not let us down. This is very dramatic, and I love it. Damien was at a lighthouse. Also, I found a dead body to hack at said lighthouse, because everyone knows that dead bodies can be hacked.
Hey, fuck you! Look at you! You plowed over people to get to a mob boss. You think you're absolved because your cause is what? Noble?
Damien has a valid point here. Lena dying is Aiden's fault because of his criminal life. Clara dying, also his fault because of his criminal life. Aiden is responsible for countless fixer deaths as well. Which, yeah, they're criminals, but, yeah, Aiden really isn't the good guy in this story.
What are you doing here?
Sorry, pal. New contract. Kick it over.
What?
Come on, kick it over.
Jordy decides to take the contract for Aiden's head after all. However, Aiden hacks the lighthouse and explodes it because Watchdogs to get the upper hand. Damien dead, but Jordy disappeared, probably for plot purposes so that Ubisoft could include him in the Watchdogs 2 paid DLC. Because Ubisoft.
Everything is connected, and I'll use that to expose, to protect, and if necessary, to punish.
Aiden is apparently the Punisher. Mayor dead, Bloom PR head becoming the new mayor. CGIOS 2.0 yada yada setting up Watchdogs 2. You're promoting your next game before it even came out. We get it, Ubisoft. Okay, so Yolanda, Aiden's nephew's therapist, is writing a book about Aiden. Sounds awfully similar to Dr. Friedlander writing a book about Michael in GTA 5. Coincidence? I think not. DedSec making warnings, further setting up Watchdogs 2. Aiden is now being called the Fox? What? Why? That makes no sense whatsoever, but sure, Ubisoft. And finally, we get to shoot Maurice / Mr. Plant. Also, that is some seriously thick aim assist. Holy shit.
Nothing.
Alright, I know that I shit on Ubisoft a lot, and this whole series is pointing out the dumbness of games. However, I genuinely enjoyed this game. It was well written for an Ubisoft game. There was a lot of infuriating things, but it is a good game, and definitely one of my favorite Ubisoft games. The rating was good, although definitely nothing compared to Witcher 3 or Cyberpunk. Once again, YouTube Law, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Nate out!